teacher has to participate in this, and she needs to be prepared. Whether, of course, the pre-service is too early to say about ITEP. B.Ed has been doing that for a while, but from the interactions that I've had with many teachers, who go into the system, I would think are not adequately prepared at all, and especially in their exposure during their teaching practice. They should be in inclusive schools. They should be experiencing that, because inclusive education is also mindset. No, it's a change, very very important shift in attitude that will only happen once you've experienced it with students with disabilities.
We can never produce that many special educators as is the need. So training the teachers, the in-service teachers, is very, very essential. There are no two ways about it. Now, I have also experienced many a times the reluctance of special education. This is not our job. We have special educators for that. So why are you bombarding us with this? At the surface of it, we can immediately say, oh, these teachers are not interested, and they are like that. There is attitudinal barrier. But if you look at it from the teacher's point of view, they are actually having a lot of work to do. So incentives, how do we a little bit of
when you I think both of you, the way you were saying, like already I'm not saying that is needed, is that every other course, and that does mention my answer is that are we prepared? Teacher education programs have the capacity to transfer that knowledge. The teacher who's teaching says to psychology perspectives in education is transferring that knowledge too. So it is a matter of every class, every course that is being taught in such programs to provide that perspective.
As you were saying, there is still a provision of flexibility of the teacher educators who can take it up. So you think other teacher educators, if they are not prepared, so what would you foresee or what would you recommend? Like, how should the teacher educators be prepared now?
See, we have so many platforms, right? You have all these online platforms like Diksha, Nishta, the National Mentors Mission and all of that, right? You have that, and I know that they already seem committed, at least on paper. If you read their documents, they seem committed. But do we have enough resources to train them, right? And also I do feel that this commitment that 6 hours out of 50 hours will be devoted to inclusive education, I wish that would be at least 20 or 25 hours and not 6 hours. So there are these things that we will have to strengthen our mentoring mechanisms first. The teacher education programs need to be supported much more so that the transfer of knowledge, dispositions and skills can happen effectively. That is the most important thing, and for that I do feel that the RCI, the NCTE, all of them have to come out of their side and understand whose territory is it, whose territory, to whom does it belong, where does inclusive education belong?
Yes. Some years back, maybe I would say 4 years back, we were having a dialogue with NCTE that we should have an MOU, focus on our teacher training program so that general teachers are better equipped to handle diversities in the class, and special teachers are better equipped to take the full class on. Otherwise, the main grudge against special teachers is, oh, they are used to only one-on-one teaching, how can they handle a class? Which is a fact also to a great extent. We expose them to one-on-one teaching when a child has multiple disabilities or is on the spectrum or ID or whatever. We give them 1 or 2 children at a time during their practice of teaching when they are doing the course pre-service program. A lot of discussions were happening. I was part of that. We were almost on the verge of signing the MOU, but somehow it didn't happen for whatever reason. And very recently, Dr. Bharti, myself, we were developing a bridge course for special educators, 6 months program, so that they are better trained for addressing big classrooms, subject content and everything. We developed the content, we had many meetings, we worked very hard on it. Where is that document? Where is that curriculum? We don't know. We just met, she says, I don't know, and so did I. Like, I've been chasing them, and they said it's on hold. So, I don't know to put it here, whether it's politically correct or not, but I see a lot of apathy also towards special education, inclusive education, at school level, even in higher education. It's more for tokenism. At LPU, we have many students who have disabilities. A lot of concessions are given to them. It's barrier-free. But when it comes to examinations, we are still very rigid. Not just at, I mean, it begins from school level. At school level, when we are so rigid about evaluation system, so how can you expect even at, higher education, people are going to make things flexible. So I feel we come back to where we started with awareness, change in attitude. That is still there, very much. The block is still there. I wouldn't say it is the same what it was 20 years ago or 15 years ago. There is a change, but the change is rather slow. So when you're talking about what are your recommendations, for pre-service, I would say, for example, optional paper in inclusive education for general education students. So whenever I would visit any general education college and I would have a session with them and I would ask them how many of you are taking up inclusive education, nobody would raise their hands. They were all doing counseling because there was a post of counselor in schools at that time. Now since it's become compulsory, it's a 50-mark paper with no practicum at all. So how does that solve a purpose? How does it make them equipped with dealing with, inclusive classroom teaching? Same is the case with B.Ed special education. How much of training is being given to them for subject teaching, for inclusive pedagogies? So I feel the curriculum is evolving. I won't say ITEP or ISITEP is bad. That is done with a good intent. But we have to, as the practitioners or as the teacher educators or the program, the organizations which are offering these programs, they have to understand that unless there is a marriage between general teacher and special teacher, even before they become the teachers, like during the course, they do things together. Our students go to regular schools and give classes there. Their students come to special schools and give classes there. That kind of training has to be embedded in the curriculum. Somebody has to monitor that it is being done, even if it is said so. It's not that it's not mentioned in the curriculum, particularly in ISITEP, because I was also a part of developing ISITEP curriculum. It is there, but how much of it is happening in real is the big question.
So, what recommendation do you think you want to give for the Samagra Shiksha teacher preparation program, where again we are burdening only the teachers, or their training program also has to be at a different level, whether you're talking about the HMs or any other subject specialist. So how does all these policies of NAP and RPD really help in the implementation, as we all are discussing, like the teacher preparation is so much essential for the success of inclusion. So just one point for you all, and we'll go to...
So once, I don't know if it is too radical to say something like this, that I really feel that the regulatory bodies should loosen their grip a little. I really feel that NCT, RCI should loosen their grip and allow, for example, universities like ours, yours, who work in this area, they have expertise to, recognize the programs that we are offering. It just widens the canvas. It allows...
Can you share your inclusive education?
Sure.
As in some programs that you have
Yeah, so for instance, our university for the last 5 years has been offering these blended mode programs in inclusive education, in teaching, learning, teaching children with learning disabilities, and also in early childhood education. And all of these are blended mode. They are for in-service teachers who are working professionals and can come and attend the program. The barrier that we face are of two kinds. One is that a lot of people who are seeking this program, while they are interested, say, but you don't have RCI certification, We don't have RCI certification because we did not want to go in the direction of special education. The other barrier that we face is that the teachers say that we have no support from our school because there is no RCI certification, there is no career progression, there is no recognition of this qualification, right? So while they are learning, they are coming in their individual capacity, they are gaining from the program, they are going back and practicing whatever they are learning from here. But because of this, the regulatory frameworks that we have, I would really, use this platform to urge the regulatory bodies, representation from the government, that please loosen the grip, allow players who are doing good work in this area to also participate in something that is meaningful and useful.
I think you have brought out a very relevant point when under NEP we are saying, we are talking about inclusive education, and inclusive education also becomes a part of the education department. So when we are saying that in policy of RPD Act, we are saying in NEP, so why still we are having these stringent regulatory systems? I think this needs to be really looked into much more deeply, and some solution, because for the past 25 years we have been just talking about this and about the RCI courses and the recognitions what is there. So yeah, yes, in this you can we'll give you a mic.